You gotta just keep the teaching part simple. It's no fancy pants. No fancy pants. Okay, so let me hop onto this painting and tell you what I'm thinking about. So this painting I have been working on, almost for like since I was in Paris in October. So the light color, this one right here, Rebecca, I bet you that's the one you're talking about. I love that one. I don't think it's a class. I think there might be a Zoom class kind of like it, but maybe we need to turn that into a class. I love it. Here, let me show you. Isn't that so pretty and light? It's so light. It's so opposite than what's behind me. How I got this was I did an abstract piece. It's on paper. And then I don't think I liked it that much. So then I put a lot of white on top of it. And then I just did some really light pastel colors. Thank you, Rebecca. I really like it too. I know. That's why I have it here. I keep staring at it and thinking, that might be a fun class. Maybe I'll do like a couple of these, like a couple series in this style. All right, we'll have to think about that. Okay. The one next to it right here, a friend of mine did. And I put it there because I love the orange, the pink and the yellow together. Okay, so hi Janice. Let me know if you would like a class on this one that I don't have yet. All right, so this big piece has been driving me crazy, and I think it's because of the house. And I know we've been working on it together, and you know how I feel about the house. Some of you guys like the house, some of you don't like the house. I don't know, but I was bringing this book up the other day for a reason. This is Monet at Giverny, and this is his garden. Hopefully he likes it. And what was bugging me, sometimes it's hard for me to know what bugs me. I sit with it. So when you're working on your art, I want you to know, like, you may not know what's bugging you. So you have to kind of sit with it. And then eventually you'll figure out what's bugging you. So what was bugging me was I don't like this house. I just didn't. But I like having a house because it's really important to Monet. So I still didn't know what it was. Let me just shut this. When I pulled this up for some reason, I flicked through, and this is actually his, okay, look how beautiful that is. Let me try and get it straight in here. I'm backwards a little bit, so it's hard for me to do that. It's challenging. There we go. All right. So the idea of the painting is it goes along the side, like this. It goes like this in a diagonal, and then here's the house. Well, then all of a sudden I was like, voila, that is what it is. It is these two trees that break up the house. That's what I liked, okay? And so, oh gosh, I don't even know what happened, but all of a sudden balloons just flew up. So who knows? I think Facebook is trying to compete with Zoom. They do that too. All right. So what I wanted to do is break up this house, and I take a piece of chalk and I chalk over anything that's on canvas. I don't do this on paper. I could do it on paper, but I just don't. You could take a little chalk pencil and do it on paper. So I take my chalk and then I draw again on top of my art to kind of get an idea of what I like. Another tip is take a photo, print it out, and then draw on top of your printout and get some ideas. So I knew right away, as soon as I did this, I took my chalk and I went like this, and I put in 2 tree trunks and another one here. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen to this house. It could end up being bigger, but right now I have to ignore it a little bit. And I'm going to start to bring in the trees into the sky. All right, so I'm going to make a couple big moves. Don't be in shock. Remember, it's just acrylic paint. And I'm going to go with a dark color. Now, this could be awful. And painting live is not easy, I have to say. Anybody who paints for weddings, I really admire you. I could never do that. So I paint live in my workshops, but I think I have a little bit more control. I don't know why right now, because I haven't really planned this out. Is maybe the problem. I only did a little bit. So I have some of the Nova, what is this one? It's the Deoxysine Violet. And I wanted to have a dark color. I have a regular brush here. I don't know what size it is. And I've got some canvas down below just in case we make a huge mess. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead. This is a little like Bob Ross style, that he takes a painting and he puts something big and dark on top of it at the very last minute. So this is not my last layer. It's just something I was thinking about. And I'm using this paint very, very loosely to see if I can figure out how to make my composition a little bit better. So there, and like I said, it's definitely loose. I want it to be loose. I don't know what's going to happen to that house back there. It may actually stay little. I doubt it. I have a feeling I'm going to bring the house up and make it big. And then I want to have whoa, jeepers. I want to have a foreground and make sure that that is going to pop off of this canvas. So I want to actually go into some of these other chalk areas. Now, I don't know if it's going to stay dark. It may not stay dark. It's just for me. I could cover it up again. And we're just going to plop in. And I don't want to have just two trees in the middle. That would be really a little bit wacky. So I'm going to add another one. And maybe there isn't even another one, but sometimes doing like big moves like this is a little exhilarating, because you can always just adjust it again if you want. And I am not mixing any colors right now. I'm just thinking about my composition and having some darks in there. Now, I really do like these trees here, but I think it needs a little something. It's kind of like I'm spying through this field. I just paint right over my chalk. I just paint right over it. You don't have to. I do. No. You may think like, what the heck did I just do? But it's all good. So this is sort of like my blocking now of how I want this painting to go. And I'm thinking that this house, all right, so that's my purple. And then I'm just going to block in a little bit of this house. I'm going to look at my reference a little bit. So you can see here that these two trees, this house is much bigger. It doesn't go down here. So I want to go in and make that adjustment. So I'm going to grab a little bit of white. And I have my purple brush. It's okay. I'm just doing a little bit of blocking, so it's going to look a little purpley. This is not the final color. It's only for me to see how I want to make this house. Now I like how the house looks, but I can do the same stuff up here to this house. So here is the door. The windows go kind of like over. So all I'm doing is trying to figure out like where would that house go, and I think it actually keeps on going. So I'm going to add another little bit of white. So the whole painting is loose and a little rough with the strokes. To me, I just felt like it was a little flat and boring. And so this sort of breaks up what I'm trying to do. And now what I'll do is I will let this dry and then go over even maybe another time with chalk and just try to start working on details. So when you're working with acrylics, my biggest, not my biggest, because I'm sure it could change another time on advice, would be to let your layers dry and really think about it and come back to it. Because now that I have this down, I can then look at it from afar. I would go across the room and I would look at it again and I would really try to see like, okay, was that a good move? Does that look good? I can see it. It's obviously not going to look like this when it's done, but what it's doing is it's breaking up the composition into a different painting because I wasn't happy with where it was. I never know, I couldn't tell you what it was, but I knew it was the house, was something with the house, but I couldn't tell you exactly. So now I get to kind of play around and see, is this size of the house better? And this is just called blocking it in. And I could go in and I could make that house any color I want. I could make it brown, I could make it orange. The purple, the light color is just to represent that it is the house back here. And the dark color is to represent that there's going to be trees here. And somehow I want to incorporate these trees up into the top, into the sky. All right, so that's my little impromptu. I will probably go garden and come back and slap on some more colors. And I also would encourage you to take photos between your layers because you'll be like, what the heck did I just do? I kind of liked it before. And oh my gosh, Rebecca, yes, I was talking about Anna, my mother-in-law who passed away, who's sort of like the reason why I'm even in this world because of a dream I had. I'm sure you guys know that story. I was just talking to one of Mark's cousins about this last week. She took a class in Santa Cruz and she would work on these gigantic paintings, like really big. And I think they were probably on paper or like a raw canvas, probably raw canvas actually. They were on raw canvas because she had a show. All right, and so what she would do is once a week, she would go to this in-person workshop, and that they would make this beautiful painting of whatever, and they probably had a theme. I wish I kind of paid attention back then, but I wasn't even like into art. I mean, I loved art, but I wasn't painting. I had little babies, and I was in corporate, and I don't think I just, I wasn't really that attached to these paintings, and I wish when she gave her show, I would have really looked at them all closely. But here's what she told me. Every week, they would go to this class and they would paint over the painting completely. Not white, but with another painting. And it was all about non-attachment, and it was all about letting go. And when she told me this, I was in complete shock. I was like, how is that even possible that anybody would do that? That's crazy. So that is showing you like how far removed I was from this whole process. So anybody who's new to this group, especially who's like, I don't even get that. I didn't get it either. Like, it didn't even make sense to me how anybody could possibly do that. But what happens is you let go, and then you try something new, and then maybe a new brush stroke comes up, or a new color comes up, or a new color combination comes up, or a new layer comes up, and you're making room for this growth as an artist. And part of it is all of this intuitive way of painting, that you're painting more from your inside, from your gut, than just following along with a design or an idea in your head, outside, like a picture that you're following along with. And so now after she's passed and I get more into being this art and doing it, hi Heidi, like when I'm involved in my art, it is way more like this, where I'm like, blah, let's just slap on a few dark trees. It takes time. It's not easy to just go slap on dark trees. It's little like when Bob Ross would do it at the very end. He knew what he was doing. But my point is, people were shocked when all of a sudden he would put in a dark tree in the middle of his work. But you never know until you try. And you never know until you get there. And you're like, oh, wow, that actually wasn't so bad. Oh my gosh, my husband is watching us right now. Good thing he wasn't listening to the beginning of the live, I hope. Hello. All right, I have to go in a minute because I have another live I'm doing with my, this is really exciting. Hold on, my nose is so itchy, you guys. I know that's awful that I just did that. Oh, Sheila, I'm so glad. But I got to tell you guys something really exciting. I'm super giddy. I'm going to France in 2.5 weeks, and I'm going live in a few minutes with the group. And we're just going to talk about all of our last minute stuff. I'm so excited. So I won't be live here in our Facebook group until I'm back from that trip, but for sure I will be, hopping in at some point or sharing some bits, or if you're on my Instagram, you'll see stories. And I think the stories go over to the Facebook, not the group, but my Facebook business page. So if you're on my Facebook blah, 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 business page, you'll see it. I will be in Paris for 3 days with a very dear friend of mine who is an incredible artist and photographer. She will wants to go down all those crazy alleyways with me and look at the shutters and the doorways and all of the things that I think are cool as a 58-year-old. That is what we're going to be doing in Paris, and eating, of course, and drinking champagne. Of course. And then I go south of France for 9 days. And I will be with a few of you who are on here right now, and I'm out of my mind excited. I'm going to spend the next 2.5 weeks creating all of the goodie bags and fun stuff for everybody and plan it out. And Janice, I'm so glad too. When you said I'll see you Saturday, I was like, what's Saturday? So, but you guys keep on sharing with the group, keep on encouraging each other. If you ever have a post in the Facebook creative in this group and you need me to see it, or you have a question, just tag me at the little at sign and my name so I can find it. And just keep on supporting each other. All right. So I love you guys. Thanks for coming on. I will keep you posted on my tree development, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Oh, and then Oh, Rebecca, you are the sweetest. I know. If you don't want to hear from me, turn off your notifications. Okay, just turn them off and then you won't hear from me. There was something else I was going to tell you. What was it? Oh, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. I am also live over in YouTube, just in case. You can just Google Andrea Garvey art and then you'll see me there too. I don't really do art demos over there because it's a little hard to do those, but I do a little inspirational chit chat about creative joy. So anyway, all right, you guys, I will see you soon.